Remember, there's only one race, and that's the human race, okay? Remember, there's only one race, and that's the human race, okay? Rinse selection. Remember, there's only one race, and that's the human race, okay? there's only one race, and that's the human race, okay?